In this video, I want to show you a simple and robust way to add code snippets into your WordPress site. My name is Neil Matthews and I'm a WordPress consultant. And this is a technique I like to use on my client's site. So a little bit about code snippets. We want to add bits of code to improve our WordPress site. Often it's to change features or to fix errors, change copies, etc. And you'll see it's often recommended that you add a code snippet into a file called functions.php. Now I want to show you a simple way to add those code snippets without editing the functions.php. It's probably better for you if you're not a developer, but you're given a code snippet solution. So there's a plugin out there, strangely called Code Snippets, where you can add these bits of code into your site. The beauty of this is it is recoverable if you make a mistake in your code, so you won't crash your site. Easier to review your code and to document your code and to manage the bits of code that you're adding into your site. And if you change your theme, you don't have to pull those bits of code out of your functions.php to put in a different theme. They are carried over because they're at this plugin level. So we can jump over now and install this plugin. That's the URL there. I'll include that below this video in the blog post. We're going to install it and we're going to add some custom code snippets to change the add to cart button to a but now, that should read buy now, for WooCommerce install. So let's jump over and do that demo now. So I'm logged into the back end of my development site and you've got plugins, add new. So in the search plugins, type in code snippets. I'll include a link to the plugin should you need to download it. It's this one here by the Code Snippets Pro. Click on install now and activate. So now we have this new snippets option, so we can import or set settings, but let's add a new snippet. So I have a small snippet of code which will change the text on the add to cart button to buy now. So let's give it a title, add to cart to buy now. And then I've got a small snippet of code and I just paste it into this section here. So essentially saying, well, you don't need to understand the code, but essentially saying we're going to return buy now instead of add to cart on a single add to cart. Let's go to the description. Change add to cart button to buy now. It's always good to document these really well. If you have a lot of snippets, you can very easily get confused about what does what. So good documentation is essential here. So let's give it a tag, some tags. Let's call it WooCommerce. Let's say buttons as well, like that. So we've got some options here. You can run the snippets anywhere. That's probably good enough for most of the snippets we're going to add. You can run on admin only, so for the snippet that just works in the back end, run the front end only, or you can just run it once. So it's perhaps a job to do a single update, you can run it once. Set the priority, unless you want something to run more often, just leave it at 10 and save the changes. So you can see add to cart buy now is active. If we go over to our single products, refresh it, you can see it says buy now. So this code snippet only works on a single cart, a single product item. So if we go to the shop, it should still say add to cart, and it does. You can clone them, you can export them, and you can disable them if you don't need the code to run again, just with this little checkbox there. So that's code snippets.